That could happen here. That could really truly happen, and it has happened. It has happened on certain things. Avocados was one of the things. We had issues with avocados for a while. And a little bad news for some people out there, and it's kind of in a way funny, but sad, but true. McDonald's is removing the large fries from the menu. Oh, wait. Before you get excited out there, before you get excited, don't worry, it's not here. This is in Japan right now. Right now, Japan is having a sort of supply issue with potatoes in Japan, and basically they get a lot of theirs from Canada, so they're having a lot of supplies issues. So basically, places like McDonald's are being affected. So basically, I think you only can get like a small fry now in the McDonald's until they get the logistics issue resolved. And this is happening all across the Pacific. So it's probably not only in Japan. It's probably in a lot of other countries around in the Asia theater there. But it's not only potatoes that's the issue. Fried chicken is another thing that's a major issue. There's the convenience store Family Mart in Japan has had a inability to basically get processed chicken into the country. And that shows you how important the U.S. is when it comes to basically shipping things overseas. And this is why the former president says, like, we need to start manufacturing. We need to start putting ourselves, growing things again, making sure that we're able to create a surplus of all these items, so we don't, that when people ask when they need it, that we're able to produce this products back to them as well. It's a rough issue. And this has been happening for quite some time now. You know, when people criticize the West that basically we took these lands and the history and stuff like that, not realizing that a lot of the basic stuff that you have today is because of the West. You know, a lot of the fruits, a lot of the vegetables, a lot of the meats, you know, and they said, well, they had it in other countries. They had the ability to do that, but unfortunately, at one point in history, it became an issue where weather, droughts and stuff like that started to affect those countries, and they couldn't get things like that readily available. In the case like now that we're dealing with the Megatron Omicronial Zeta 1 COVID-19, have, a ton of logistics issues. If you look at California right now, there is a ton of containers waiting to be picked up and to be taken to companies, warehouses, factories throughout the country. You know, we do have a shortage on truckers at the moment, into that perspective, but there's still truckers trying to get stuff out as fast as possible. I mean, to the point where ships are being diverted to the East Coast over to Miami, which basically Miami does have the staff and the trucking that's able to get the stuff out as soon as possible. You know, I mean, we did have issues during the pandemic, for certain things, meats and stuff like that. Pricings have gone up. And the thing is, now it's gone up again because of all the inflation and all that. But now you have other places like Japan, which basically they can't get enough chicken, they can't get enough potatoes, because basically, they're dealing with outside. Now, could they start growing their own? They could. The thing about it is there is plenty of places where they farmland, but can they create that within the time period possible, depending on how the grounds and the temperatures work out? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. You know, perfect examples that we import avocados. Now, can we grow avocados here? Yeah, sure, we can grow avocados because I used to have a friend who used to grow his own avocados, and this was when I was living in Florida, and he used to grow the largest avocados you could think of. And my mother used to love those avocados. And this is a guy who was from Africa, and he came here and he was able to grow that fruit. There are capabilities for people to grow things in certain areas. And we need to start to put ourselves into those patterns again where we have extensive farming here, but the farming here has been faltering for certain things because they're not growing enough of certain products. Like, for example, we have almonds that's taking up all the water in California. Most people don't realize that. Do we need to corner the market on almonds? We corner the market on almonds, believe it or not. Most of the world's almond craze comes from the United States. We could be growing other fruits and vegetables throughout the country. We do have the lands to do it. There's still plenty of farmland out there, but we don't take advantage of that. And the reason why I bring this up is that, when you have a situation like Japan that's going through their motions of that could happen here. That could really, truly happen. And it has happened. It has happened on certain things. Avocados was one of the things. We had issues with avocados for a while. And you got to remember, the other half of it is, just to finish off on this particular story, is that we hear stories of salmonella and all this coming in from other countries. Then why are we dealing with those countries as far as that? If these fruits and vegetables are coming in and they are basically tainted where we get sick from them, why are we still dealing with that? Why are we still buying from that? Let's make it ourselves. Let's continue to make it ourselves.